Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a truly unique path for our deep dive.
Yeah, bit different for us.
We're ignoring the traditional academic paper and instead turning to a source that is just, well, it's raw, it's personal, and it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The song lyrics from Trevor Russak's composition, Real Life in the Hood.
Right.
This isn't data gathered from a survey or anything like that. This is a narrative of survival, a first-hand account.
A lived experience.
Exactly,
Yeah.
extracted directly from someone who lived through it.
And our mission here is to treat these lyrics as, I guess you could say, an ethnographic shortcut.
A shortcut, I like that.
We want to move past the stereotypes that often color discussions about life in the hood and instead use Russak's own words to expose the really complex, often contradictory realities, both internal and external.
We're looking for those aha moments, you know?
Exactly, those moments of what it means to survive and even aspire in an environment like that.
And the lyrics, they don't really ease us in, do they?
Not at all.
They immediately establish the scale of the struggle, that the stress is just relentless and inescapable. It stretches over years. He talks about being so low for so long.
And the environment itself is just, it's defining. It's like a second skin.
Yeah, that line, everywhere you go, there you still are. It just hits you, how trapped he felt.
And what's immediately crucial, I think, is how he frames this. It's not just a geographical problem.
Right.
He says it's systemic. He moves past specific addresses, specific streets, and states it so clearly. Every ghetto has a different name, but all kept me sick the same.
Wow. Kept me sick the same.
It's such an insightful opening. It tells you right away that the pain is emotional, it's psychological, it's like a chronic illness tied to the whole socioeconomic context, regardless of what you call the neighborhood.
It's the condition itself, the scarcity, the lack of safety.
What's the sickness?
That distinction is so vital because once you establish that baseline of chronic stress, the source then describes this whole elaborate structure that's built just for day-to-day existence.
The survival armor.
Yes, a survival armor, the need to construct this external identity.
Exactly. And that brings us to the initial code of survival, which the lyrics call a simple game.
A simple game.
To move through the world safely, you have to get recognition, you have to earn respect, you have to spit your game, show them that you ain't no lame.
And that phrase, spit your game, that's key, isn't it? It's not just talking.
No, not at all. It's about presenting confidence, intelligence, street smarts. It's about proving you belong there and that you're not a target, that you won't be easily exploited.
So it's a necessary currency, this external performance. And if you do it well.
In the best case scenario, yeah. It might even lead to a little fame, some recognition within that community structure.
But the author, he immediately cuts through that whole facade of simplicity.
He does. Right away, he says, it really ain't a simple game.
No.
Because the second you're done with the external demands, that's when the real work begins, the internal work.
The struggle to remember your brain and try real hard to stay sane through every bit of pain.
The mental health cost of it all, the sheer emotional labor of keeping up that front while you're dealing with all this trauma, it's immense.
A dual reality.
Totally. External strength, just masking this internal fragility.
And that fragility is sustained by the whole socioeconomic context. He links it directly.
He does. He lays out the backdrop.
Yeah.
The neighborhood is a place where you don't see lots of the rich. It's all working class and very poor.
That scarcity, it just drives everything. The competition for respect, for resources.
And yet, and this is so critical for a nuanced view, despite all the pressure, all the violence, the daily life he describes is not just one negative thing.
Right, it's not a monolith.
Not at all. He lists these positive things that exist right alongside the danger. Enjoying great food, looking at the hood's bright side, hearing those, unifying hip-hop beats.
Which makes you ask, how do those bright spots even survive when the environment is so threatening?
That's the question, isn't it? Because right next to that community pride,
there's the threat of conflict. How your street might make you down to fight and ride.
And then you get these little details that are just so telling.
The liquor store.
The 3 great liquor stores right across the street.
Yeah.
That detail says so much.
It really does. It's not just a convenience store.
No. It highlights that the places for celebration, for gathering, and maybe for, desperate escape or self-medication, they're all mixed in with the constant potential for conflict.
And the structural problems that keep the neighborhood poor in the first place.
Exactly. The liquor store is a social hub, a place to decompress. And that speaks volumes about the stress people are trying to manage.
And this complexity, It just underscores that you can only navigate this environment because of a really deep social infrastructure. These bonds, they aren't just, nice to have.
No, they're security measures.
Yeah.
Genuine security against the chaos.
And the lyrics point out the importance of the different generations, too. The OG. Yeah, that gratitude for the cool OGs who got to know me. For anyone listening who might not be familiar, an OG is.
An original gangster, but it's really an elder statesman, a mentor figure, someone who has survived the system and can offer guidance, respect, and crucially, recognition.
And the functional benefit is stated so clearly. You're not so angry when you have a lot of homies.
It's an emotional regulation tool.
It's a literal anchor.
A vital anchor that stops you from being totally consumed by the volatility of it all. And this need for social bonds, it leads directly into what you could call the survival contract.
What?
In this world, protection is absolute. Authenticity.
The warning.
The warning is absolute. Do not be fake, though, or you'll never be protected.
And that authenticity, it extends to respecting the existing power structures, the
Yeah.
loyalties. The source says everyone has to just accept it when people represent their clique.
And that's not a celebration of cliques. It's an acknowledgement that this territoriality, this group loyalty, it's a necessary part of the social fabric. It's how people survive.
Which naturally leads to the intense social function of gangs in this context.
Right. And the lyrics offer a really challenging perspective on this. They say gangs serve as families for many kids who are neglected.
They provide the structure, the identity.
And most importantly, the protection that their immediate family or, the state failed to provide.
So for those kids, it's not really a choice about morality.
No, it's an immediate solution to avoid. A void of safety and belonging.
But the shadow hanging over all of this, all this structure and loyalty, is just the devastating reality of daily trauma.
The normalization of it.
Yeah, the normalization of violence is just heartbreaking. He talks about how you have to just come to accept it, the random shootings.
And that acceptance, it's a form of cognitive survival, right?
Yep.
But the emotional toll is still intense. Just seeing or hearing about new murdered kids means you will be affected. It's not just some story on the news, it's personal. It's a chronic source of pain.
Every death is a reminder of your own vulnerability.
It's a perpetual low-level trauma that everyone in that environment carries.
Which brings us to I think the most pivotally tragic moment in the lyrics.
The anecdote about his friend.
Yeah. This is where the ultimate cost is driven home. Because it's not just a statistic, it's a violation of the entire survival code we've been talking about.
This story is the deepest indictment of the whole environment. The friend died just for walking down the street.
Just for walking.
And the detail that's so powerful is that he wasn't in no gang and never, ever was a thief.
He wasn't playing the game.
He wasn't a player at all. He died for simply hanging on, I guess, the wrong street.
Let's just pause on that for a second.
Okay.
This friend wasn't involved in cliques or crime. He tried to stay neutral. He tried to be invisible.
And the violence found him anyway. It was randomized. It's fatal collateral damage.
It proves that the survival contract, even if you follow all the rules, stay sane, don't get involved, it offers no real guarantee.
It shatters the illusion of safety. It shows that the code of conduct only protects you from specific targeted conflict. It's no shield against the wider systemic chaos.
And that's why that story is just so profoundly painful. For him and for you, the listener, taking this in.
Yeah.
So when the threats are that random and that devastating, what does that do to your daily behavior?
Well, the lyrics give us the answer. While you can take a risk, you can make some cool friends if you dare to leave your house.
If you dare.
Right. That threat dictates the practical reality of life. The source emphasizes that most stay inside and scared, knowing what the street's all about.
Survival becomes a strategy of just near invisibility.
Exactly. Staying inside, hanging low, even if you never bang, though.
The choice is so stark. You either join a protective family, which is often a gang,
Yeah.
or you try to disappear from public life completely. And despite all that, the physical constraints, the emotional burden, the survival mechanisms, they aren't purely external.
No, the source explores the internal world, the spiritual ways of coping, of aspiring.
How people keep some sense of agency when all external control has been stripped away.
It's the essential non-institutional coping mechanism. When the world outside only offers fear, you have to turn inward.
He describes people praying to God, asking why they have to suffer.
Sometimes crying, sometimes getting mad and shout.
Yeah. These are acts of emotional release, desperate attempts to engage with a higher power when the world around you feels godless.
And that internal turmoil, it fuels this powerful, almost utopian dream.
A truly safe place.
Yeah, the yearning for somewhere way over the rainbow. It's a place of pure domestic peace.
The visual is so simple but so profound. A smiling face, no drive-bys of the gang foes.
The ultimate aspiration is just the absence of threat.
And the intensity of that desire for escape, it's rooted in this comprehensive suffering, isn't it? Came from present days and memories.
It's not just fear of tomorrow. It's escaping the crushing weight of yesterday.
And the ultimate expression of that yearning, it connects right back to the physical confinement. He reflects on the kids who every day wish they could fly so far above the inner city.
It's a deep, deep yearning for physical transcendence.
For flight.
And that desire for flight has a very specific rider attached. They wish to be not stoned, but just so free and high.
That contrast is so critical.
It really is. It differentiates true, authentic liberation from just chemical escape. The goal isn't just to forget the pain.
It's to transcend it.
To transcend the physical and social boundaries that define their entire existence. They want pure, self-actualized freedom.
And ultimately, the source gives us a survivor's resolution. The narrative shifts to his current perspective, acknowledging that he made it out and thankfully survived. That survival itself is a powerful statement.
It is. It's a moment of reflection and realized hope. He carries forward this powerful realization that rough times are not permanent.
And for anyone still stuck in that cycle, that single line, that rough times end, that might be the most potent piece of advice he could possibly offer.
I think so.
And the final act of reflection is, it's deeply poignant. He says he has since apologized for the ways that the time went by.
It's not an apology for being a bad person.
No, not at all. It's an apology for the necessity of it all. Yeah. For the harsh choices and the lost years that it took to survive that environment.
It's the survivor looking back at the person who had to wear the armor.
And recognizing the emotional damage required just to make it through.
It's like an apology to his past self for having to be so hard, so calculating, just to escape that systemic sickness.
So what does this all mean for us? We took a deep dive into art as this direct window into a world defined by constant contradictory pressure.
The pressure to build a hard external identity.
The absolute necessity of community connection for safety.
And the overwhelming shared desire for a life that is simply free from random violence.
The key takeaway nugget for me is that constant crushing conflict between two needs. The need to have a lot of heart, be real every day, to survive the street, to fight the battles, and earn respect.
Versus the interior universal dream of escaping to simply be so free and high.
Right. The external world demands this exhausting performance just for survival.
While the interior self just demands pure, simple peace.
And it provides such piercing clarity on the true heavy cost of survival in that system.
It does. I mean, the source material presents a devastating reality where safety means one of two things. Either you stay hidden, you survive through invisibility by hanging low,
or you belong to a protective family structure, which is often a gang.
and the tragic death of the friend, the one who wasn't in no gang, it illustrates the ultimate cost of this system. So it makes us ask,
What's the alternative?
what institutional mechanisms need to exist so that simply choosing not to belong and not to hide isn't a death sentence? When survival depends on choosing a side or just disappearing? What does true neutrality cost when the existing systems of protection have failed?
That is the question.
That's the question Trevor Russak's lyrics force us to mull over.